Welcome to episode 62 of How to Play Like a WAP Pro. Today I have a replay for you. Another replay on Studzianksi Eastbound with the CS63, but this time the situation is a little bit different. I'm platooning with October and his bat chat, and this time I'm on the NA server, and the matchmaking is a little bit different, so I decided to do things a little bit different than a couple episodes ago where I play the CS63 on this map from the same side. So let's take a look at the matchmaking first. We're top tier, it's tier 9. They do have two arties, but one of their tier arties is this tier 9 shitter, which fires very fast but doesn't really pack much of a punch. Then this thing, which doesn't have the best gun arc, but is, I don't know, still hits relatively hard. And so in this matchmaking, since I'm platooning with October, I can ask him, do you want to take the dip? And this is one of the situations where taking the dip is an okay play, where you have enough support to do so. And the problem is when you're playing solo, you don't know whether you're going to have enough support in the south to take the dip. But since I'm platooning with October, I can just ask him, are you going to take the south? And he says yes, so that's what we decided to do. First of all, because there aren't 3 arties in this battle, there's only 2. And because we're top tier, so we can, as 2 top tier tanks, we should be able to win it by ourselves. And so that's kind of the reason why I took the south in this game versus that other game that I showed you where I went to the north. Now, since I'm playing on the NA server, I have good equipment and stuff. And so I'm bringing my loadout with HP. I don't really have the luxury of doing that on the EU server, because I can only bring I just don't have the equipment to run the best loadouts possible. But since I'm playing on NA where I have all my good equipment and stuff, I'm able to run an HP loadout. And the reason why I'm bringing an HP loadout as opposed to like a aiming unit or something else for the last slot is because I don't want to lose the dip at the very beginning of the battle. Now this could be a mistake. Just looking at their lineup, they have 4 tier 9 medium tanks, and they have the Leo, and that's basically the only tanks that can take the dip. Now that sounds like a lot, but honestly, tier 9 tanks are pretty easy to just tear through, especially when you're in a CS63. I'm gonna get there way before them. I'm gonna get in probably 2 shots for free before they even get in here, and then I just way out DPM them, and I can even bounce them with CS63 armor. And then I also have the backup of Octo, so it could be a better idea to bring the aiming unit. And the reason why you might want to bring the aiming unit later is because once you start playing in this area here, you get shots through this gap right here, and the aiming unit can make it easier to snipe opponents there. But I decided it's a better idea to bring the HP. I don't think you would have to bring the HP in this situation, it's just what I decided. Now first, what I do, since nobody's been spotted yet, I decided to shoot down this building because it just clears up a lot of this area here for me to shoot through. And now I'm just pre-aiming. I decide that it's not worth it to take another shot at like shooting down this house or something. I decide it's better just for me to wait, because they should be here about right now. So if they're coming, they're probably going to show up. Now I've waited like 10 to 15 seconds and nothing has been spotted yet, and Octo is even going super aggressively and he hasn't spotted anything yet. So what that tells me is most likely if they have anything in the south, it's going to be playing really passively. It's not going to be pushing down here. And that tells me that most of their medium tanks are probably playing in the north. And in fact, their Cent 7-1 has already been spotted there. Now here comes their Kunza. No idea what he's doing. He's just driving through the open, but I get a free shot into him, and I don't even think I get lit for that. Although maybe I did, I'm not sure. Now here I hit a gamer shot because I'm a gamer. I don't know, not much to talk about there. I guess I can tell you the reason why I zoomed out so far is because I didn't know whether I would be able to see his... I wouldn't have time to see his outline through here and react in time, I didn't think, or there might be some fence in the way. So instead I just zoom out and aim in third person. But if you're not comfortable doing that, you don't have to do it. It's just something that I feel comfortable doing, so I go for it. Now, one thing to keep in mind, there's a bunch of houses here, like this house, these houses, all of these houses, which are on the way. And what you need to be careful of when you're pushing through the south in this situation is this position right here where the T-54 is. It's right here. There's a little rubble pile, and people love to sit there and shoot you as you push to the south, and you'll get spotted. So if you are pushing to the south, first of all, don't do it if you have no support. And you probably shouldn't do it if you're not top tier either. Or at least you need to be very careful doing it top tier. But second of all, just do it very cautiously regardless. Now what I'm doing here is I'm taking shots through this gap back at them. So this is something that you can do yourself. What I do in order to do this is I just right click on the map exactly where this T-54 is playing, right on this rubble pile, so that I'll be shooting just left of the rubble pile. You can't really see the rubble pile from this distance, to be honest. Maybe you can kind of see in the corner here, there's a little rubble pile right here. You shoot past it, and if anyone's playing on this rubble pile, you can hit them. Now I actually miss the guy playing at the rubble pile, and I shoot the T-95 on this side, but unfortunately it's just a crit hit. Now I wasn't really paying attention here, and I missed a shot on the EBR-90 because of it, because I wasn't paying attention. Now my goal is just to get unlit. I don't want to get shot by people on this corner, so I'm just staying safe behind this house. Now this E-75 is a huge problem for us. And if, for example, this was like a T-110E5, then we might be in a position where we just can't push. But since he's a tier 9 heavy, we might be able to get away with it. Now, unfortunately, Octo makes a bad peek. He thought he would be unlit behind these bushes or something, or maybe these bushes, and so he thought he could get unlit, but he couldn't. So he takes a bunch of damage. But I'm still wanting to get rid of this E-75, so I decided to push behind him. And as you can see, I'm not safe to the E-75 right now, but I am safe to anybody playing here or anybody playing here, and those are the two important angles. So even though I'm not safe to the E-75, I'm basically safe here. Now unfortunately I take one from the Kunze-Panzer. He just barely gets a shot into me. He must be really wide, like over here, in order to get a shot like that, which isn't very common. They usually play a little bit further back, like around here, because they're scared of getting stuck here. And then that already hits me as well, unfortunately. But now that we've gotten rid of this E-75, that means we're not going to be constantly worried about getting proxy spotted. And it also gives us a little bit better of an angle onto here, and it gives us the possibility of progressing through here. Now whenever you get to this position here, after you've pushed to the south, it's usually a bad idea to keep pushing through, because this bush line way back here is just way too strong against you. There's no way to progress through it unless you're like a light tank and you can use CVS to outspot tanks. There's just no way you're gonna push up like this. It's too hard unless your team is winning by like 5 to 10,000 HP. There's just no way you can do it. So it's better just to turn around at this point, and so that's what I do in this situation, I'm pretty sure. After taking some pot shots at the T-54 and his location. Now I'm pretty sure I don't actually hit many blind shots this game, which is kind of surprising to me, because if this T-54 was indeed poking this, I would have expected to hit him twice maybe, or maybe even 3 times. But I think what happened is he just was not poking. So I didn't end up hitting him at all. Here comes the 277. I could have tried to poke wide and shoot him through this bush, but I was pretty sure I would get lit in return and then I would just get shot by the Kunze-Panzer, so it wasn't worth it to me. So instead I decided to go back south. Now as you can see, we're down 2,500 HP, and it looks like we're not doing so well in the north. So even if we were winning and we had pushed into this train station here and we were winning the north side, then I might think about pushing up at least like this, or more likely like this into here, and into this area here to start killing people here, and then maybe to push like this. But since we're losing the north, it makes sense to start falling back anyways. Even if we did think we could progress like this, pushing or rotating back still kind of makes sense in this situation because we're losing the north side of the map. And the enemies are kind of overextending here, so we get some free shots, which is nice. This is where the improved aiming unit would have been really nice to have. The HP definitely is not the better thing to have in this situation, in this endgame situation anyway. So I'm still aware of the fact that they might have some tanks passive in these bushes along this ridge, and so I'm making sure not to poke up onto the ridge. So if you pay attention to what I do here, I poke up, but then I immediately poke down right again. And then what I'm doing here is I'm just spot checking whether I'm getting lit from any of these bushes here. And I don't get lit, so I know that nobody's there. And so I poke in. And what I'm trying to spot right now is this corner right here where the T-54 is, but I didn't realize that these bushes were in the way, so I can't actually spot it. You can spot it from this bush right here, and so what I should have done is gone into that bush instead. But I think I'll spot it in a second regardless. Maybe not. We'll see. I start getting a little bit aggressive. I'm looking at what's spotted and what's not. And right now the only thing unlit is their 704. So I know that this E3 and Yag are kind of alone, and I'm kind of expecting our team to push through the north here, and so I'm thinking after my team does this, then I'll be able to progress into here, and then just start out trading these guys, or at least proxying them. And once my team comes through the north, then they'll push through here, and then these guys will be in a crossfire between here and here, between here and between here. And so that's kind of what I was thinking. I was hoping my team would push to the north. But as you'll see in a second, that's not how things work out. Their E3 pushes across, and I'm really tempted. I'm really tempted right now to just push their Yag, shoot him twice, hopefully not take a shot of damage in return, because he's kind of easy to outplay because he's a tank destroyer and he doesn't have a turret. I'm hoping to kill him for free, and then I can get behind the E3. The thing that stops me from doing that is their 704 is still unlit. And I have no idea where he is. He could be up here, and if he's up here, then that would be a very bad push for me. So I almost do it. I'm an aggressive player. I like to make risky plays like that. But I decide against it in this situation, and I'm glad I did, because I think as you'll see in a little while, their 704 actually is up in A5, A6. So it's a really good thing I didn't do that. And I think the reason why our north push failed is because their 704 was up there. Yeah, there we go. The 704 kills this guy, the E50, and that tells me that he's probably in this, somewhere in this area, because I don't know where else he could have died from. I think at the time I was thinking that he could be back here, but I don't think he is. I'm pretty sure he's in the north. Yeah, even ping it. Now, unfortunately, in the meantime, our team has actually given up control of the south completely, so we don't know where the 277 or Kunzepanzer is, or if they've pushed through here. I'm assuming they haven't, because usually they're scared of making that kind of repush. But I'm anticipating it just in case it's the case. So I try to poke up here, see if I can get any spots through this area here, if anybody's over poking this ridge. Nothing of the sort. I think in this situation I was thinking about blind shooting to see if I get lit. Maybe not, we'll see. If I were to replay this battle, that's probably what I would have done. But their 277 gets lit over here, and so it's a good thing I held my shot, because I got a free shot in because of it. Now I am aware of the fact that their Yag Panzer 100 could be poking right now. Poking this corner right here to shoot me. So I think I try to get safe. I'm mostly safe right now. And I should be unlit by about now. And yeah, their Yag pokes there. This is not an easy pen at all. But I go for it anyways. Their 704 gets lit. I go for his track. Just because I see that I have teammates behind me and I want them to shoot him. Because this game at this point is very close, and so I'm really trying to play for the win here, not just damage. A lot of the time I wouldn't bother with a tracking shot like that, but there I really wanted to hit it because I wanted my team to get out as much damage as they could on that guy. Go for a blind on the Yag. Almost certainly didn't hit because it's hard to pin him from that range regardless of whether I can see him or not. Now you'll see we've lost the east flank partially, but we are retaking the west flank, and Octo's over there as well. And so is this EBR-90. This EBR-90 played well, by the way. He does a good job here out spotting their TDs and their Kunze-Panzer, playing in this bush line here. Like I said, you can't progress this flank very easily at all unless you're a light tank, but he is a light tank, so he's able to make it work. He's even able to shoot him unspotted. And at this point, I'm thinking, hopefully we're able to win through the west flank, and then we might be able to actually progress, because if the only thing they have left there is a one-shot Kunze-Panzer, then we might actually be able to push it up to like here and start getting spots out into this whole area here. But at the same time, I want to keep spots up on the middle of the map in case this Yag makes a mistake. But I don't want to get shot by the Yag either. Now, in this situation, I will outspot the Yag unless he has a camo net activated or binos. So I feel confident playing at like 400 meters range away from a Yag. Unless I fire, I shouldn't get lit, and even if I do fire, unless he has a good crew, he won't spot me. And thankfully, our 4K5 takes him out, which is pretty big, because that frees up a lot of the map. Or it frees up a lot of the middle for me to work. I don't have to worry about getting hit by a Yag anymore. And now I'm thinking our EBR-90 should be able to progress down here, and then this guy, there's nowhere for him to hide. Unless he turns around and just guns it down here, he's going to die between the angles of me and him. So I'm looking for an angle, I'm just waiting for him to back up, and there he goes. He backs up, and I take him out. And I don't even get lit for it as well, which is great. Here now, I realize their E3, he's completely alone. If you look at who's spotted, nobody else is spotted. He should be completely alone. And so I feel pretty confident going to take a fight with him. If he's just facing me, like if he's just sitting here just facing this direction, and I can't push him, it's completely fine. I just have to back off. There's no harm done. But if he isn't facing me, then I just get one or two shots for free. And I might even be able to get behind him, so. Here I load HE, which was a mistake. I mean, it's kind of arguable whether it was. It technically wasn't a mistake. Technically, loading HE was the right play if I was going for the win, because HE has a chance to penetrate him, and if I don't penetrate him, then he's a one-shot for APCR regardless, so he's a two-shot. If I do penetrate him, then he dies in one shot. So HE was technically the correct play, but if you're going for damage per game, then HE was the wrong play, and I should load APCR so that I get the most damage that I can from the first shot. But I don't really care. I'm just playing for the win at this point. And I didn't want that Artie to escape around the corner, so that's why I go for HE there. But I don't even get lit for it, so I'm fine coming around this corner. Now pay attention to what I do here. I don't shoot the E3 right away. I wait for him to start turning because I did not have a tracking shot with damage yet. So I wait. And the reason why I do that is so I can get a tracking shot with damage, so then the second shot I can track him and do damage again, and then he's dead. Unfortunately, he turns too fast, and then I'm just a terrible player, so I just miss-aim my second shot and I bounce him. And this part of the replay is pretty embarrassing. I play extremely bad. But you'll see what I mean in a second. So now it's just a matter of crossfiring him between me and Octobear. The reason why I take the shot here in this situation is we're up, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna win this game, and I don't think I'll need my HP, so I just take the hit. I don't really care. I think it's worth it to get the hit off, so that I can get a shot in. If you were playing for strictly victory, then you should not take the shot in that situation. You should wait. If he's aiming at you, Octo pokes. If he's aiming at Octo, I poke. And you do not take a hit regardless. You never take a hit, because there's no reason to take a hit. But since I'm playing for damage, I just take the hit, so I don't care. But things start to go wrong. So their E3 kills our 4K5 first of all. So now it's a 4 versus 3. And I'm not actually sure whether Octo has shells right now, so I'm not sure whether their E3 will die. But our EBR-90, he's a Chad. He goes behind the E3, bounces a shot, unfortunately. Thankfully, the E3 doesn't have HE loaded, so he survives. And then I bounce a shot. I don't even know how, but I must have misaimed it, so I'm just trash. I don't know what I can say, to be honest. I'm just not very good at this game. Now I'm aiming for the 277. Thinking, alright, this should be easy. I should be able to get a shot. Nope! EBR-90. Oh, look, there's a standard B. Oh, fuck. I missed. Oh, it's okay. I'll get a second shot onto him. It's not a problem. Oh, no, the fucking EBR-90 again. This motherfucker just... I don't know what to say. He was in my Twitch chat at the time, so there's no hard feelings. It was kind of funny, to be honest. But I take a hit. I don't really care because I'm. If these are two randos, then I would play safer at this point. But I know that this guy, I've seen him play a little bit this game, and he seems to know what he's doing for the most part. And I know that Octo knows what he's doing. So I'm not really afraid that we're going to lose this game, so I play aggressive just to get the final damage, and thankfully I high roll this guy, which makes things even easier for us. To be fair, if I didn't high roll that guy, and then he had killed me, and then our EBR-90 had bounced, and then he had killed our EBR-90, this game would be still winnable for him. Octo would still have the advantage, but this would still be winnable, so it was a little bit risky of me to do that, but I wanted the damage, so... that's why I went for that. So now let's go over the post-game stats. So I had 6,200 seen, 750 blocked, and 1K spotted. Let's see if I hit any blind shots. I don't actually remember if I did. As you can see, 6,600 damage. I only hit one blind shot. Don't even know if that was on the T54 or not. I'm assuming it was, but I'm not sure. 1250 spotting assist. And I'll just rate it for you. 1.1k. Actually, let me show you Octo's and the EBR-90's results as well. 1.1k base XP, 2 kills, 6,600 damage. Nothing crazy, but this was a pretty good carry, so I wanted to highlight it. Octo, 4.2k damage, 1k assist, and then the EBR-90, 2.6k. and 2.8k assist. I'm pretty sure he was anonymized. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure he was. Don't remember what his name was, but shout out to him. He can comment if he sees this video. He did a good job. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned something from this replay. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.